Tell us a little bit about this since you worked on this.
Certainly. Basically, Manhard is under contract. They operate our water and sewer system for us. The previous contract was for a 2-year period that expired, or will expire May 1. What I have proposed to Manhard with the economy and budgetary things going on, if they would leave their rates the same, I would propose giving the 3-year contract as opposed to a 2. So this is the agreement that they have come up with, where our rates are going to stay the same as they are for the last 2 years for the next 3. All the services are going to be exactly the same. Any extra work, the labor rates are all broken down. Everything's exactly the same. So it's a great bang for the buck here.
Okay, do we have a motion for approval? Any discussion?
One comment. I was at a meeting with Manhard, the mayor, and Jeff the other day, and doesn't pertain just to this particular contract. I have no problem with this contract. But I asked Manhard, because they asked what could they do to improve their services to the village. I asked them to look at the possibility of a proposal for our other work that would involve a retainer versus just time and materials. They are one of our largest bills, so I was just looking for some way, at least wanted to review some way that we might be able to save some money with them. They were more than amenable to reviewing that and making an offer to the village.
Okay, roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Tiffany.
Aye.
Duberstein. Aye. Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Okay, next we have a mayoral proclamation proclaiming May Motorcycle Awareness Month. And I believe if we haven't already had it delivered in the next few days after adoption of this, we will be having some materials delivered here to Village Hall that will be made available to the public on motorcycle safety. Do we have a motion for approval?
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Tiffany.
Aye.
Duberstein. Aye. Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Item 8, approval of temporary construction easements for 44, 54, and 64 Northwest Drive, Hainesville. This is the repair project that we're all well aware of, and we awarded the contract already. This is simply the easement that allows us permission and our contractor permission to go on to these this private properties, and it was our recommended by our attorney that the board actually approve the acceptance of these temporary easements. So I'd like to ask for a motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Trustees Darrenowski.
Aye.
Tiffany.
Aye.
Duberstein. Aye. Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Walkington.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Okay, item 9 is review of our standing committees is found in section 20822 of the Hainesville Village Code. We've had various committees, but our municipal code actually requires 4 committees and gives a definition of those committees. So that's what you've had put in your packets. There are other committees that exist, such as Community Relations, which is a committee I asked to organize to address the media and community relations through different efforts, whether it's a newsletter or events. But there's been some confusion at the standing committee level about the procedures and the powers of the committees. So I have asked Jim Rock to just review that briefly in a general way.
Sure, I'll be happy to. There are 4 standing committees that are described in the municipal ordinances. The first is the Finance Committee, second is Public Works, third is the Public Safety Committee, and finally the Public Property and Open Spaces Committee. Each of those committees is supposed to be a continuously active committee, having at least 2 members, one who's the chairperson, and who is appointed by the mayor with the advice and consent of the village board. The groups are supposed to meet at least once a month and provide a monthly report to the board of trustees. And the role of each of those committees is advisory. Their responsibility is described, their jurisdiction is described in each of the 4 paragraphs related to those committees. And then in each case, their responsibility is then to make recommendations, not to establish policy or legislate anything or authorize anything, but to make recommendations. So that the committees, the way the committee should work is they meet every month, they develop a report, they make advisory recommendations to the board, and then the board makes decisions and sets policy based on the recommendations. Those recommendations may be modified by the board, they may be accepted, they may be rejected by the board. That's how advisory committees are structured to work. And so I guess the way we want to put this is if the committees, if that's not the way the board intends this committees to work, we shouldn't probably have it structured this way in the ordinance. So, and if that is the way, then we ought to do it. And it's my understanding that some of the committees may not meet regularly, and there may not be as many members as we suggest, and there may not be reports generated. And we probably ought to do what it says in the ordinances in terms of what the committee structures are and how they operate. So just something to keep in mind as we're moving forward is that if we're going to suggest that the committees should meet once a month and provide a monthly report, then that's what they ought to do.
The other option would be if you were to consider changing the code, which, you know, is certainly doable, but it's not something you should ever do lightly. So if you have suggestions or would like to see something done different in the way of committees, I would ask for those suggestions, or that we adhere to what's currently in the code. And committee meetings don't have to be long. Some committee meetings are only 5 minutes and some can be 2 hours. And a committee is doing basically research work and bringing their recommendations to the board. They're not in an authoritative position, so it doesn't authorize a committee or a member of a committee to approach staff members to tell them what to do or not do or anything like that. And I don't think that's been the intent of anyone, but I just want to make it clear that everybody understands that.
Could we say something about the...
Michael?
Could we say something about that the frequency of the meetings would be determined by the chairman of the committee? Because there are some of our committees that would do every other month or once a quarter because it just isn't that much stuff going on.
You're talking about...
The wetland committee meets every other month.
Right.
And I meet every quarter, once a quarter.
I think you're going to need to meet more than quarterly, and that actually have some work that I want to assign your committee. You know, this is the time, the reason I'm also bringing this up now is when we start the new budget year and we just had an election, this is also the time of year that the mayor typically reviews the committee work, moves the committees around. I'm not looking at making any major changes, but we do have a new official that's going to be sworn in next month, so there will be some assignment there. And then moving in with the new budget and calendar, there's some duties that I would like to delegate to the committee. So community relations is going to have to meet more than quarterly, if that's okay.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I moved it because
Yeah. Yeah, every other month might be fine, but I don't know that quarterly really will work. But in the meantime, I'm going to say let's digest this as well, and any comments or thoughts, and then we can visit it again in the May 10th board meeting. How's that? Okay, at this time, I would like to ask for a motion to go into executive session.
So moved. Second.
And this will be for the purpose of discussing personnel issues. Roll call.
Trustees Janosky.
Aye.
Tiffany.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Watkins.
Aye.
Everyone is welcome to stick around and eat more cake. We'll try not to be too long. Oh, wait. Ready? I'd like to ask for a motion to come back into open session on Tuesday, April 26, 2011 at 8:16.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Janosky.
Aye.
Tiffany.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Watkins.
Aye.
And do we have a motion on the matter for an executive session?
I move that the Village of Hainesville hires Karen Noble to fill the position of utility clerk commencing April 27, 2011 at $16 per hour with job description as per our personnel manual.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustees Janosky.
Aye.
Tiffany.
Aye.
Duberstein.
Aye.
Barrett.
Aye.
Daly.
Aye.
And Watkins.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. And now I'd like to ask for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned, 8:18.